Welcome to Mimi's Math Channel. Today we will discuss the trig ratio sine and the inverse sine. So you've heard of the acronym SOHCAHTOA. S stands for sine, O stands for opposite, H stands for hypotenuse. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set your calculator in degree mode. Now I have shown you two formulas here. One is to find your side, which is just going to be the sine trig ratio, and the other is to find your angle, which is the inverse sine. So let's go ahead and get started with example one. Never use your 90-degree angle. You're only going to use the angle that's given. In this case, we were given angle 50. So what I want to do is find the side that is across from it and label that as opposite. We already know that the side across from your right angle is your hypotenuse. So now I have enough information to use the formula above. I'm going to put sine, and then I always want to use the angle that's given that is not 90. So in this case, it's 50 degrees. And I want to set it as the formula states opposite, which is x in this case, and then hypotenuse, which is 15. If you have a number in your denominator, all you want to do is multiply both sides by that number. And now you have x is equal to 15 times sine 50. And once I put that in the calculator, then I end up with 11.49. That information actually is going to be this side and this triangle over here. And because I have two sides, I can go ahead and use the Pythagorean theorem to find the other side. All right. And then also because I knew that the angle across from that 11.49 was 50 degrees, once I use my inverse sine, I should be able to figure out what this is ahead of time because I understand that those two angles have to equal 90 degrees because they are complementary angles. The entire triangle has to equal 180 degrees. If we do this correctly, our answer will be 40. So let's go ahead and set it up using this formula above. So this time I'm using the inverse of sine. So I set it up as theta is equal to the inverse of sine, and I'm still doing the opposite over hypotenuse. So let's go ahead and label. Across from my right angle symbol, that's my hypotenuse. What I'm trying to find this time is the theta. So across from that is the side that's opposite. So let's go ahead and put opposite here. And then if I just wanted to know this side that's next to the angle that I'm working with is adjacent. So make sure that you label so you'll know how to fill in your formula. My formula says to place opposite in the numerator and hypotenuse in the denominator. So opposite is 9.64, hypotenuse is 15. And as I stated, once you put that in the calculator, it rounds to 40 degrees. Now let's go down to example 3. Let me go ahead and label my sides. So across from my right angle is my hypotenuse. Angle I'm given is 65. Across from that is my opposite. And since I'm trying to find a side, then what I want to do is use sine of the angle 65 is equal to opposite, which is 2 root 3 over hypotenuse x. So in this situation, when I have x in the denominator, what I want to do is just swap out my trig ratio with the x. So x now is on the left-hand side of the equal sign, and I already have 2 root 3, and I want to swap out the x with the sine of 65. Now when I put this in the calculator, x, when I round it to the nearest hundreds, is 3.82. I went ahead and took this information and I put it in this triangle because again, it's the same triangle. So now what I want to do is label my sides. This is my hypotenuse. Across from my angle that I'm trying to find is my opposite. And since I'm trying to find an angle, I am going to use the inverse. Theta represents like the variable to find the angle. And the formula says opposite over hypotenuse. It's the same triangle. So if this was 65, then I have to find 90 minus 65 is 25. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day.